Self-Love is the New Sexy, the podcast devoted to helping you overcome life's most painful and stubborn challenges so you can feel great, have more energy, and live stress-free every day. To reach your full potential, simply work with the powerful spiritual principles that are readily accessible to everyone. It's easier than you think, and on today's show, W. Mark Watts is going to show you how starting with self-love is the key to joyously and harmoniously making that happen.
Hey everybody, it's W. Mark Watts. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me for another episode of Self-Love is the New Sexy. If you're a first-time listener, welcome aboard. If you are coming back, welcome back. So today I want to kind of slide into a little topic that I think is super important along this journey. And I'm going to start with a quote. And that quote is, "Don't be afraid of being different. Be afraid of being the same as everyone else." I'm going to repeat that again. Don't be afraid of being different. Be afraid of being the same as everyone else. And that leads me to the topic of tonight's episode, which is, are you the leading actor in your life, or are you a supporting actor in your life, or actress, depending on whom you are? The reason why I think that's an important question is because that will tell you right away how you are on your journey of true and complete self-love. Because in our life, in your individual life, you must be the leading actor. And the way you can tell if you are the leading actor or not is just, are you making your own decisions? Are you making the rules in your life? Or are you abiding by or following? Are you a sheep? Are you following what everybody else does just because it might be the sexy or the popular thing to do, or someone close to you or in your family or in your immediate environment might want to force their beliefs and their thoughts and influence on you? So if you ever feel like there's situations where you're not in control, where you're not the leading actor, where you're not making the decisions or making the calls or standing strong for what you feel and what you believe, then you are not the leading actor in your life. And therefore, loving yourself completely will be a lot more difficult. So case in point, this evening I'm talking with a friend, and I told her that I had ordered a pizza from Papa John's. And for those of you who aren't familiar with recent history of Papa John's, the face of Papa John's at the time was accused and then confirmed that he had used a derogatory and very negative, hurtful term in regards to African Americans. And for those of you who can't see me or may not be aware, I am an African American male. And so, yes, I was offended at the thought of him using that phrase. However, and I will admit too that I did back off of ordering, of paying, giving them my money for a little while as I watched how that situation was going to unfold. And I allowed the company, the board of directors, to kind of deal with that in a socially conscious way, which they have. So when I told her I ordered the pizza, she was like, "Oh, you ordered a pizza from Papa John's?" Alluding to the fact that maybe I shouldn't because of their recent history. And I immediately told her, yes, that is true. I did order a pizza from Papa John's, and it's because I believe in forgiveness. And I also am aware of what Papa John's, the company, has done in regards to what its then leader decided to do, or the choices that that leader decided to make, which of course he's no longer leading that company. So I highlight that to say that, life will constantly test you. It will constantly check to see if you're the leading actor in your life, in your play, in your movie, because it needs to know you have to constantly be that force in your own life. Now, I could have easily said, oh, this, that, or the other, or made some kind of excuse why I ordered from Papa John's or what have you. But that's not in my nature, because I am fully in love with myself and confident and comfortable with who I am and the decisions that I make. I don't have to conform and be a part of any group or any organization unless I choose to. And so that's why I started with that quote. Don't be afraid of being different. Be afraid of being the same as everyone else. And I don't knock anybody. I don't have an opinion, or I don't care very much for telling anyone else what they should do and what kind of opinions and thoughts that they should have, or who they should support, who they shouldn't support. And I definitely believe that no one's going to tell me what to support, who to support, and how to think. I think that's just then an innate ability, an innate, just the essence of who we are, is we get to evaluate, think for ourselves, and be who we are.
We hope you're enjoying today's show. If so, please take a moment to show your support for the show by leaving us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. If you have questions for W. Mark Watts, please feel free to contact him over at wmarkwatts.com, on Instagram at wmarkwatts, or on Facebook at Self-Love is the New Sexy.
So as I get to the second part of this episode and start to close out, my conclusion here, I really want you to think about, as you look into your life, how much do you take that leading role in your life? How often are you influenced by what other people say and the demands that they put on your life and the requests that they have? How often are you playing second fiddle? How often are you sitting back and allowing people to take the reins and you're just kind of following? And that will give you a good feel for kind of where you are on that scale of being as self-loving as you can be to yourself. And it's oftentimes great to sit back and evaluate that and to look at it and to say, hey, how am I on that scale? What am I doing? Can I be more of myself? Do I have stronger convictions? Do I want to do things? Do I want to be a little more bold? And do I, and by the same token, it also accompanies, or that also accompanies your ability to listen and to take in information and to watch and to learn. As I told you earlier, I'm an avid learner, and I will always be an avid learner. So I always pay attention and I look for things and I listen, and then I ultimately make the decisions that are right for me. And, I enjoy having conversations with people about whatever topics that they want to discuss, as long as I have an interest in it, and again, it's my right to not have an interest in any topic in this world. I don't have to discuss anything that I don't want to. But on topics where I do want to engage, I'm totally comfortable speaking on anything. And I will do my research and my homework, and I will have an opinion. And it's okay. The thing that I love about my freedom is I'm totally 100% fine with anybody having their own beliefs, and I get to have my own beliefs, and we can agree to disagree on certain things as long as we still are respectful of one another. And I think that's a challenge that we have in society, is we'd rather be right than kind. We'd rather be right than to love, and we'd rather be right than to forgive. And that's just not what I subscribe to. I subscribe to the total opposite. I'd rather be kind. I'd rather be thoughtful. I'd rather be respectful. I'd rather be just loving in any way that I can be, as opposed to any other way in this world. And so I want you just to take a look at your life and see if there's ways where you can be more firm, and you can recognize those tests. As a matter of fact, what I want you to do is I want you to be on the lookout for opportunities where your willingness to play the lead role in your life will be tested. Because here's the wonderful thing about life is those areas where we need the light to be shined will always be shined. There will always be situations. Life is always asking us or inviting us to be all of who we are. And when we're not, we'll get opportunities to look at it and decide. And again, we all get to decide when and how we want to step into loving ourselves as fully as we possibly can. So, but just pay attention, just be on the lookout for opportunities in your life where you get the chance to look at it and to decide and figure out how you want to be, what you think and what you feel, and then proceed accordingly. So again, I want this to be a dialogue. So wherever you can find me on social media, send me a note, at wherever you listen to this episode, leave a note, leave a comment. I do my best to get to all of them, and I will respond where I can respond, or I'll do an episode. If there's any overwhelming responses or questions, I'll do an episode and talk about those as well. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. So I want you to continue to take care of yourself. Do the very best you can each and every day. And come back and hang out with me some more. So until the next time we speak, look forward to talking with you all again very soon. Take care now. Bye.
You've been listening to Self-Love is the New Sexy with W. Mark Watts. If you enjoyed today's show, be sure to tell a friend. Also, make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing to our show on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you listen to podcasts.